Happy Monday. Welcome to another sneak preview. I'm Connor Eyzaguirre,
I'm Austin Johnson.
and today we're recapping one of the strangest, most awkward Academy Awards in recent memory. Who'd have thought? It was all going so fine. And then, well, we'll get to it. Jesus Christ. Way to kill the vibe.
Yeah.
But more on that later. First, let's talk a bit about what happened last week in film. Last week in film. It's going to be quick. We got a lot of Oscars to talk about, so let's just plow through these. There's a sequel to Godzilla versus Kong in the works at Lionsgate. Big shocker. It's one of the few films of 2021, I believe.
Yeah.
It's all blending together for me. To make a splash financially, of course, Lionsgate isn't going to shelve Godzilla. The only question is, who's he fighting? Who's going to be next? I'm hoping for a Destroyer reboot, personally.
That would be awesome. Yeah. That's exciting. But it's not surprising at all. So, it's just more shit for the fans.
Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for the inevitable Pacific Rim crossover. I mean, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, newcomer Daniela Melchior, who played Ratcatcher 2 in The Suicide Squad, has joined the cast of Fast and Furious 10, which is shaping up to be another one. Jason Momoa is the bad guy. I wonder if he's going to be either a long-lost uncle, a computer hacker, or some rival race car driver with superhuman strength. It's going to be one of those three.
Yeah. And doesn't really matter. Momoa is good at what he does, so fuck it.
I mean, they already went to space. I don't really know where else they can go at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Mars. We'll get Elon to fly them to Mars, and they'll drift on the fucking Olympus Mons. That's on Mars, right?
Yeah, Mons drift. Yeah. Jesus.
Okay. Next, a deleted scene from Matt Reeves' The Batman was released, which features Barry Keoghan's proto Joker in its full freakish glory. Did you get a chance to check this out?
Oh yeah, of course. Super exciting. I love Barry. I thought it was cool. It was definitely a bit of a play on the Heath Ledger Joker, and just kind of a little bit different spice. Really like the hair. I like the makeup. I like how fucked up he looks, and I think Barry is an extremely talented dude. And if it's gonna go to somebody, I'd rather it be someone like him who's up and coming and has something to really prove, rather than kind of an established movie star to do Joker, like a Joaquin Phoenix. I think it's cool that we get someone like Barry, who's also around the same age as Paul Dano and Robert Pattinson. Those guys, he's in his 20s, so that's cool, right? That he's kind of like a part of the same acting class as those guys.
That is cool. There's definitely a chance for longevity here.
Yeah.
Batman has already proven to be a big enough success for DC and Warner Brothers that they've greenlit 2 spin-off shows and a full-blown trilogy. So
yeah,
Barry Keoghan ain't going away. Like, he's our Joker. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I like that we already have an established history between Batman and Joker. And as Matt Reeves said, he's not quite the Joker, but he's getting there. But I get why they cut this scene from the movie. It does. I mean, in the middle of Batman's hunt for Riddler, all of a sudden the Joker shows up and then we don't see him again. That would be jarring as hell. So I'm glad they cut it.
Yeah, no, me too. I think this is the right way to go, is to do this deleted scene. I mean, it was like the biggest thing in movies for that day. It was like a few days ago, and it was like all people could talk about on, Twitter and Instagram and the movie world. So like, it was, to me, just kind of a genius move to keep DC, Batman, Gotham, whatever, Joker, all that kind of stuff in our frame of mind, and I thought that was a really good move to just kind of have it as this little piece. That's amazing that movies can do that now, where they can have a deleted scene that just becomes this viral thing that people get obsessed with. So I'm all the way the fuck in on Matt Reeves, Gotham, Batman stuff. So wicked excited to see what comes. And it doesn't really matter what they do. I trust it now, which is such a good feeling to have because I haven't trusted DC for about a decade. So that's a good feeling.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like this is, just it's Matt Reeves. It's not DC. It's not Warner Brothers. It's just Matt Reeves with his vision. And I hope that it continues to be that. I hope no, I know better producer sticks their nose into this and torpedoes it. I hope not, but you never know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I know that I've listened to Matt Reeves talk a lot about his experience with the film, and he basically got to do whatever he wanted with that first one. So you hope that continues, that he had complete control over those creative decisions, and obviously he did a good job. I loved that movie. It's like one of my favorite movies I've seen the past couple of years. Not just a comic book or superhero movie. It's like just a really good film. So hell yeah, Matt Reeves is definitely here to stay.
Yeah, I bet this is we're going to see more of Barry probably in the Arkham series. I bet that's going to be his kind of moment to shine. Maybe that will be the story of how he becomes the Joker we know and love.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty sweet. Maybe we get maybe we get to see Harleen Quinzel as his doctor, and we get to see how that relationship formed. That would be really cool.
I would love that. Yeah.
It's just a sea of limitless potential right now, and I'm pumped.
Yeah, it's completely rejuvenated. Finally,
Yeah, I can be excited about Batman again. It's been a long time.
Yeah, outside of animated stuff. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, Batman was always fine there. Switching gears for a minute. I know this isn't film related, but this hit all of us pretty hard. Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins has passed away suddenly at 50 years old. The investigation into his death is ongoing, but multiple substances were found in his body. It's looking more and more likely that this was an overdose, which is a goddamn shame. He was a rock star. He was awesome. I feel like I just got introduced to him after watching Studio 666. He was a big part of that film. He was hilarious in that movie. And I just can't imagine what Dave Grohl and the rest of the Foo Fighters are going through right now. They were in mid-tour, and now, their compass is fucking gone. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I wanted to mention him and just pay my respects.
Oh yeah. I think when something like this hits you, someone that's important, someone that means a lot, I don't think it matters like what field they work in. So I'm with you. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the biggest Foo Fighters fan in the world, but I used to be so fucking into them, and I just haven't really kept up with what they've put out the past maybe 6-7 years or so. Probably after that, what was it, Sonic Highways, I think, is when I kind of like I didn't like keep up with their new stuff, but like Colors and Shapes, of course, like some of those albums from the 90s and early 2000s, just like super formative albums for me when I was a teenager. And God, the guy was just a freak of nature, and I love that, the connection him and Dave Grohl had as drummers, right, was really beautiful. And there's like a snippet from Dave Grohl's book where he talks about Taylor and talks about how like they just ignited something, like when they met and they started talking about music and they started playing together, that something was ignited. And like he says something along the lines of in the book that it was this flame that never lost its spark. And it's just really beautiful, really touching. And I think we'd be silly to not mention him. I remember watching the documentary, I think it's called Back and Forth, from like 2011. 2011. Foo Fighters documentary. I still own it, have it on DVD. It's really good. But I got really attached to specifically Taylor Hawkins because of the addictions that he went through and through his life. And there's just something about someone who overcomes that, and it's always going to be a battle. But they conquer it, and they beat it for a time. There's always something that I just like truly admire about that. And so I was always really into him and his style, and he'd be like barefoot on stage, and just his expressions while he was playing. You could just see the guy was like running from something while playing, and it was just like so beautiful to watch. And then I'm going on and on here, but I really like the guy. There's also a documentary called Sound City, where it's another Dave Grohl documentary about Sound City in California, this really cool studio. And Dave Grohl talks about when you're watching somebody play music, that's when you see how beautiful someone can actually be. And when you watch Taylor Hawkins, you're like, that's like kind of who he is, you know? When he's talking, when he's, you know, not playing drums, when he's doing his own thing, that's Taylor. But when he's playing, that's Taylor Hawkins. You know, that's in his DNA, is to play drums. And so when you watch him, and I encourage people to go watch, like, you know, a live videos of him playing, it's just beautiful. It's like breathtaking to see the kind of the anger and the joy and all the emotions that he's going through while playing. It's very cool. So yeah, have to shout him out. I think we're recording this on Sunday night. I think he passed away on Friday. Yeah, just fucking sucks.
I thankfully had the opportunity to see the Foo Fighters live on the Concrete and Gold tour a few years ago. So I got to see Taylor Hawkins play in person. And he was a fucking machine. Like,
yeah,
he was such a crucial part of the Foo Fighters sound. And it's not gonna feel right without him. You know, it's a well-oiled machine losing an essential gear. Yeah. And my heart goes out to his family, to the Foo Fighters, to his many, many fans. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
With that, let's switch gears again to the Oscars. This is what it's all about. This was the big year. This is our Super Bowl, the big day. And well, to put it bluntly, Will Smith took that away from us. But
yeah,
debatably, you know, Chris Rock did too.
Yeah, that moment. Yeah, I mean, we have to start with that, I think.
It's the elephant in the room.
Yeah, it'd be like if we started talking about, you know, the beginning of the show, and, you know, fucking all this different stuff that happens in the first hour and a half. Like, that moment when Chris Rock comes out to give the best documentary award out, and does his jokes or whatever. You know, obviously he fucking crossed the line, you know. And for anyone who doesn't know, I mean, I'm sure, you know, it's all over the internet right now, but he makes the joke, excuse me, he makes the joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, and she's bald because she has alopecia. It's a disease where you start to lose your hair, and it can kind of affect different parts of your body. Not a fun disease. My dad has it, and he went through hair loss, like in all kinds of places in his body. His fingernails started to kind of like decay and get real weird, and just different things happen to your body. And my dad still deals with it. It's not something that just goes away overnight. And Jada Pinkett Smith has been vocal about it. Like, people know about it, and certainly if you're a quote unquote friend of the Smiths, like Chris Rock apparently has been in the past, you should probably know that this is tough territory, right? And he goes on to say that he can't wait for G.I. Jane 2, a movie that is just like, well, that's just so insensitive and just kind of dumb. And like, it's not really even funny. Even if Will Smith doesn't react the way he does, it just wasn't really funny. And so, but Will Smith does react, and, you know, goes on stage and smacks the shit out of him. Like, just open hand slaps the shit out of Chris Rock, and then tells him, you know, keep my wife's name out of your motherfucking mouth. And then Chris Rock is like, hey, it was a joke. It was a G.I. Jane joke. Like, calm down. It's just a mistake. piled on with another probably bigger mistake from Will Smith to go and slap somebody on live television. Just both of them should have handled this behind closed doors. This is clearly something that bothered both Will and Jada. Address it afterwards, because you still have your award to win later on in the show. Pretty much everyone knew that Will Smith, it was his Oscar to lose for Best Actor. He's won a ton of awards over the past couple months, from Critics' Choice to SAGs, all that different shit, Golden Globes. He's been winning a lot of stuff. And, the Vegas odds were in highest favor of Will Smith. It was like, okay, you're probably going to win, man. So don't ruin this moment, man. He did a little bit, he tainted it a little bit. And that sucks. But I feel worse for the rest of the ceremony. The other 3.5 hours, the win for CODA for Best Picture, the win for Drive My Car for Best International Film, the win for Jane Campion, the third woman to ever win Best Director. All those get kind of overshadowed by this moment. And that's the stuff I feel most feel the worst for. Just like, holy shit, CODA, this like revolutionary Best Picture winner, a movie that's it's unlike any other Best Picture winner ever, is going to be overshadowed, and that sucks.
It put it dampened everyone's spirits. You could tell that, I don't want to admit this, but Amy Schumer was right. There was the vibe changed, and they tried to, joke about it, but it didn't take. Like, it was too raw.
Yeah.
And yeah, Chris Rock, I feel like that was not a scripted joke. He was riffing. He didn't think about it. It just came to him and he said it. Comedians do that. He shouldn't have done that. Will Smith should also not have gone on stage in the middle of a live show and smacked him.
Yeah. No, not, yeah.
It's just shit that should have been handled, when the commercial breaks, slap him then.
Yeah. Or like, maybe, I don't know, mouth something to him like, hey, fuck you, dude. I'll see you after the ceremony, because I still have a motherfucking statue to win. But thank goodness, guys like Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry were there, because apparently they went over to Will during the commercial break and were like, hey man, cool off, like chill out. You shouldn't have done that. Now, find some composure here, because you're about to have your moment. And he does have his moment. And his speech was very interesting after all that happened. So it was a wild moment. The most controversial moment in recent Oscar history, like 100%. We haven't had something like this happen like ever, where there's just actual like violence happening on stage. I don't think Will Smith should like get in huge trouble or anything, but it's going to be talked about.
Yeah, it is. If anything, it's really made me kind of rethink my opinion of Will Smith, because that was a very quick, very heavy reaction to a stupid joke.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. I think, sorry, I'm coughing a lot. I've been pretty sick the past week or so. That's partly why I wasn't on Oscar Sunday yesterday, and my daughter also got sick. But I wasn't going to miss this for anything. And then this show happened, and I was like, oh God, here we go. We're going to have some shit to talk about.
Yeah, I hate that. I would like one ceremony where some stupid shit doesn't happen, where we can just have the awards.
Yeah. The best ceremony in my recent memory is the 92nd Academy Awards, when Parasite destroyed, and Bong Joon-ho was up there just fucking laughing, having a good time, making jokes, making people cry, quoting Martin Scorsese. I want to go back to that. I really want to go back to that,
Yeah.
Because last year we had the weird Oscars where it was like really limited. There wasn't a lot of people there. It was in a completely different building. And you had the weird fuck up at the end of, wait, Anthony Hopkins won? I thought Chadwick Boseman was supposed to, was supposed to win. So it had that, and this one obviously trumps all in recent memory. Just such a weird fucking night. And again, it's gonna take away from CODA. It's not like CODA's not my favorite movie from the ceremony, but it won Best Picture, and I don't know. It was like a 50-50 horse race between that and Power of the Dog, according to all the Vegas odds and whatnot. So it was just like, oh man, we got robbed of a really cool moment.
Well, I wouldn't say we got robbed, because the win for CODA still felt special, and they made it their moment. They kind of, in my opinion, wiped the stink of that moment away and made it about them, because that's what it was about. And I appreciated that. So I think at the end of this, the night belonged to CODA, and that's what we're gonna. I want to kind of just no longer talk about the Will Smith shit, because now I want to talk about what the Oscars are supposed to be about, the winners.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think getting that out of the way, and also it's everywhere. It's going to be everywhere on the internet. It's going to be the talk of the town for the next couple of weeks until something else really stupid happens. So that's just what it is. Like you said, it's the elephant in the room. You can't really move on unless you just bring it up, and that's that. And Will Smith, this is I believe his third nomination ever, and
yeah,
finally got a win. And it seems like this kind of culminating type win that he's just one of the biggest movie stars in the world, and has been for the past 25 years. And so it was cool. It's cool that he's had this journey. It's just going to be talked about in a different way now. So tough stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So our ceremony opens with Beyonce's performance of Be Alive from King Richard, which is performed in Compton in a makeshift tennis court thing. And all I could think about was, I wonder who had to change their commute home because there was a giant green box in the middle of their neighborhood.
Yeah. And they have no idea that Beyonce's in that green box. Yeah. I definitely thought about that too. Yeah.
It was a good song, good performance. But I thought that was an odd way to open the show.
I think they opened it up that way just simply because it's Beyonce. It's the biggest star that they have in the entire ceremony. So it was like, okay, let's open up with Beyonce, and let's have her, this person that will get people who wouldn't watch the Oscars normally interested in watching the Oscars, if she's going to be doing this huge, honestly,
yeah,
incredible production. So I get it, but I'm with you. It's I'm not really crazy about those performances being in the ceremony. They take a lot of time, and I thought that's something we were trying to cut.
That idea of this will bring new people to watch the Oscars. Let's be honest. Has that ever actually worked? I mean,
I don't know.
People who are going to watch the Oscars are going to watch the Oscars. You're not going to convince new people to watch the Oscars.
The only way to convince people is if they knew that Will Smith was going to slap somebody.
I mean, maybe the numbers will go up next year because now they're expecting some Jerry Springer type shit to happen. So I don't like. Yeah, this is the kind of shit that belongs to the Golden Globes. This is the Academy Awards. There's prestige here.
Oh God, yeah. Insanity.
Yeah, unreal. So our first award of the night was Best Supporting Actress. Ariana DeBose took this for West Side Story. Okay. This is the one category here that honestly I really didn't have a favorite. All five of those performances I thought were good, but I didn't consider any of them Oscar worthy personally.
I like all of those. I like all of those. I like all the actresses too. Ariana's new, she's a new face, and that's cool to see because she's doing everything, and it's neat that Rita Moreno won, 60 years ago, and now Ariana wins playing Anita. So that's like a neat story. My vote probably would have been Ingenue Ellis for King Richard. I thought she was like unbelievable in that movie. She was my favorite performer in King Richard. I was like pleasantly surprised by that film. I just watched it like a week ago to get ready for the ceremony. But yeah, it's not like a crazy strong group, but at least they're, Judi Dench, she's a fucking legend. Kirsten Dunst is a actress I think that hasn't got the right respect over the past 20 years. And Jessie Buckley, like look out for her. She's on her way to something special, I think. And this is the first of, I think, going to be many Oscar nominations.
Well, hopefully you're right. I just, I don't know. When I think of a best performance, I want like power and like unforgettable performance. And I just didn't see that with these five, but that's more of a me problem. I acknowledge that.
Yeah. So if you had to vote, who would you vote for?
I did vote for Ingenue Ellis.
Yeah.
But I thought that nomination probably should have gone to one of the Williams sisters, considering more about them. And I thought both of them did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I think what's their names? One of them's Demi, and the other one I can't. The one who plays Venus, I think, is incredible and should have been up. If she was going to be up, would have been up for just straight up best actress in a lead role. Thought she was great. She's playing fucking tennis, and not a lot of people can do that. I think Ingenue brings the pain a few times in King Richard, specifically the scene that they showed for the little clip montage, which God, I love those so much.
The clips are back. The clips are back.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Clips, that's my favorite part, are clips and montages. Those are my favorite things. So yeah, good to have that.
Yeah. After that, we had Best Sound, which is brings up a contentious point, I think, that pissed both of us off.
Yeah.
All of the quote unquote minor awards that the Oscars have deemed unworthy of live presentation were tweeted out early. Why? I don't fucking know, because the show still went over like a half hour. So
yeah,
it wasn't to save time. But we all, we knew a lot of these before the show started, which was some bullshit. But yeah, Dune took Best Sound.
Yeah, this is definitely the thing that made me most upset. So yeah, we knew this like, I don't know, a month ago or whatever, that they had these 8 categories. And, there's 23, and they're like 8 of them are going to be announced, not live necessarily, that it's going to be spliced together. And you could fucking tell, because they were going through them really fast compared to the other categories. And I like hate that with all my being, especially like cinematography. It's kind of important. Score is kind of important for how a movie feels to somebody. Part of the thing you're supposed to be doing at something like the Oscars is showing how hard it is to make a movie and how much of an accomplishment it is. And to take away these technical, hugely important categories just doesn't sit well with real movie fans. Yeah. And it made me so angry that I left at like 6:15 to go get some food, come back in time so I'll be ready at 7 to watch the show. And I knew that they were announcing them early, but I didn't know they were going to show up on the internet for people to just have, and I just saw on Twitter, like the Academy, their actual account was tweeting out the winners of these awards. And I was like, I'm in line at Taco motherfucking Cabana right now. And I'm seeing that Dune's picking up all their awards. Didn't Dune get that movie won 6 awards. It won the most awards of the whole night. And, we didn't really get to have that moment with the movie. We didn't really get to have it. They just spliced together those categories through the show. And I just didn't like that.
No, I thought it actually like legitimately upset me when I saw that text that you sent me. I'm like, well, shit. Like, why are we even bothering watching the show if we can just get it live tweeted to us, like, and find out in 10 minutes?
Yeah. What's the difference between you and the Golden Globes at that point? and that's really frustrating. So yeah, I really hope that doesn't continue. I think they got a lot of backlash from people. I know I know a lot of. There's not one person I know that's a movie fan that was like, yeah, that sounds nice. Let's cut those out. Let's cut those out and make them quicker.
Yeah, for sure. Before we go further, I do want to acknowledge our three hosts of the night, Regina Hall, Wanda Sykes, and Amy Schumer. They did a good job. I'll acknowledge that. They did well. I still think they didn't need to be there, but they handled themselves well. They handled some awkward moments very well. And still had those moments of like, stupid shit, like when Regina Hall's doing those like hot guy COVID test shit. Like I didn't need that.
That was really dumb.
Yeah. That and the when they come out in costumes, like it's a waste of time. I don't need that shit. Just let the presenters read and let me go home.
Yeah. And they're just, I don't know, the host thing, I'll just never really be able to figure it out in my mind, because I've watched old ceremonies where, Billy Crystal is just crushing it and is like making the show move like fucking butter. And then you watch some where it's like, oh, this is a complete disaster. They're not handling it at all. I thought they did good in moments, and I do think Amy Schumer did well with that moment where she kind of was like, oh, it's a little weird with everything that happened. My biggest complaint with their fucking most of their kind of dumb jokes was the disrespect to The Last Duel. Did not need to happen. That did not need to happen. That's a good fucking movie that got shut out. And I was like, how dare you disrespect Ridley Scott like that? God damn it.
I'm the only one in my house who understood that joke. Nobody else had even heard of that movie. I was bummed out. But yeah, that's the point, isn't it? Like nobody saw it. It bombed. I thought it was a decent joke.
I guess I love that movie. So that's a movie. If it came out 15 years ago, the Academy would be all over its dick. And, like Gladiator won Best Picture, in 2000. And this is a movie by the same guy along the same lines, and like just this big epic film with these great movie stars. And it's just like, well, I don't really get it. It's one of those movies that I don't understand why it was shut out, but whatever. That's just one of those personal things where it's like, oh, you hurt me. You hurt my taste.
I understand. Honestly, like they didn't really have any memorable jokes beyond that. Like I can't think of any. Well, the show just ended 10 minutes ago. I can't think of any.
Neither can I. Yeah.
The Oscar host is just there to move things along. And I thought for the most part, they did well at that.
They did fine. Yeah. They didn't do bad. It wasn't like, oh my God, what a disaster Wanda Sykes was. Like they all three did okay. They did fine.
Yeah. After Best Sound, we got Best Cinematography, which was also just kind of hurried along. Greg Fraser won this for Dune. So Dune takes up its second technical award of the night, starting a trend.
Yeah, Greg Fraser. This is the guy who filmed The Batman as well. So, he's clearly got a serious vision for how he wants things to look and how fucking dark it can get. So I'm a fan.
Did you find it weird how almost everybody who won for Dune like got down on their knees and like thanked Denis Villeneuve like he was some omnipotent god who gave them a life?
Yeah, I think he does get that respect from his people, but I also think it was because he didn't get nominated for Best Director, and so they were like, "Hey, we're going to shout this guy out as many times as we possibly can because he's not in that category for whatever reason."
Fair enough. I just thought they could have maybe scaled that back a little bit. It was getting weird. After like the fourth person did it, I was like, all right, I get it.
And they all like all said in French, like, thank you, Denny. You're the master.
I wanted to be like, yeah, okay. Like my inner,
he's good. He's a good filmmaker.
My inner Larry David came out, and I'm like, all right, come on, sit down. Come on. Then it was Best Documentary Short. Winner was The Queen of Basketball.
Yes. Yes, I love the Queen of Basketball. That's the only one I've seen. But my my brother, my oldest brother Adam, his friend, his name's Eric. Eric is friends with Mr. Pradfoot, the guy who directed the film. And so he was like, "Hey, I'm going to send you guys a link to this doc. It's like 20 minutes." He's like, "I'd love for you guys to check it out. It's about this basketball player." So I watched this. I've watched it twice. I watched it this month on YouTube, and then I watched it months and months ago on YouTube as well. And I'm completely moved by it. I'm so glad it won, and I thought his speech was really fucking cool. So I want to see the other ones because I love those short documentaries are usually pretty powerful. But that's the only one I've actually seen, so it's cool to see it win.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't short films are just I haven't really started that yet. I've never really paid much attention to short films of any kind, and I don't want to diminish their importance. It's just something I have not yet taken a look at.
Yeah, a lot of them are they're not advertised or anything, so it's hard to know like where do I get this or where do I find it, what is this on. But like you said, it's not something to be kind of taken lightly. It's filmmaking, and
yeah,
it's more than I'm doing. Fuck.
I mean, later on tonight, thanks to the best short film categories, we got to see Riz Ahmed take home a statue.
Exactly.
Which is really cool. So
yeah, that was awesome.
Visual effects, Dune. I was hoping Spider-Man could squeeze out a win here, but the Academy has really never liked comic book movies.
Yeah, God, especially ones that people enjoy. Jesus, I mean, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, I'll never understand, especially specifically with No Way Home, why that movie literally brought human beings together and should have been celebrated a lot more at something like the Oscars, but whatever. Fucking stupid.
Let's take a moment to discuss those weird top 5 like greatest movie moments of all time thing, and
God,
like the fan favorite moment of the year. What?
Yeah, that was fucking hoax. That was so stupid. And the fact that I'm seeing Army of the Dead while I'm watching the Oscars as a fan favorite type thing, I'm like, what is this?
Zack Snyder took both of those in the number one.
Yeah.
What is with this? I didn't think I'd have to bring that fucking mountain of baggage I've got with this guy to this show, but here we are. Thanks for doing this to me, guys. Why? What? Did they watch the same movie I did? Like, what is this blind loyalty to Zack Snyder? I will never understand this. And to top best movie moment of all time and best moment of the year, I don't get it. I'm starting to think, am I the problem?
No, you aren't. No, that was one of the most bizarre things. They need to get rid of that completely next year. It's just silly.
Well, it was it was the Matrix when Neo does the bullet dodge thing, which was really cool. 99. It's lost some steam over the years. I'll admit that. Then it was Dreamgirls, which was a out of left field decision.
Yeah, 2004. Okay, yeah.
Then it was Avengers Endgame. Avengers Assemble. I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Then the Spider-Man swinging through New York City, I think, or was it the meme thing?
No, it was the 3 Spider-Man like flying in together, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was epic. And then it's a zombie jumping into a helicopter.
Yeah, God. And Dreamgirls is 2006. My bad, but yeah, that was real random.
And then the fan pleasing moments of the year are escaping me. It was Spider-Man No Way Home. I think that was the meme moment or the webbing moment.
Yeah, like what that comes out of your actual hand. Yeah, the Justice League, the Flash. I was like, that I kind of liked that Snyder cut thing, but like that was the moment
of the year, the moment where Flash kind of decides to run through the Speed Force, but we've had no build up to any of that, so there's no like passion in it. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. What a wasted opportunity that was. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I that stuff boggles my mind. Like those decisions, like who is okaying that, being like, yeah, this is what we should do with our ceremony. This will really get people interested.
Yeah. You know what the kids love? Dreamgirls.
Yeah, God, yeah, that's the best stuff. Yeah.
So sparse throughout the ceremony, we've got these musical performances, Dos Oruguitas, which was very sweet. That was a good performance.
Yeah.
The Reba McEntire singing Somehow You Do, which looks from Four Good Days, which looks like a hilarious movie.
Yeah, I had heard of that movie, but I hadn't heard about it. And I was like, oh yeah, that exists. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a fucking downer. I'll probably love it. I love Glenn Close, but it's going to make me cry. I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested in watching it as well.
We didn't get Van Morrison's Belfast song because Van Morrison didn't come. I think he had either a concert or just didn't give a shit.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to be vaccinated, and he's obviously
there. It is
totally against that. That's why they had two Encanto songs. Yeah.
God damn it, Van. Billie Eilish and her brother played No Time to Die. Wonderful. And then they played a weird, like Oscar style version of the Bruno song.
Yeah. That was fine, I guess,
I personally thought that was a colossal waste of time. But, whatever. People love the Bruno song. I think it's an okay song. I don't know. I'm starting to think I'm like an old, like, I just don't get it anymore.
Yeah.
It's moved past me. I'm trapped.
You might just be. I don't know. I think that was an excuse for them to bring out, like Meg Thee Stallion and like, oh yeah, let's get these relevant people that people like. But again, it's the Oscars. Most of the people that are watching just care about movies, so let's do that.
I had no idea who that was.
Yeah, there you go.
I asked my cousin Brenna, like, who is that? And she's like, that's Megan Thee Stallion. And I'm like, I don't know who that is.
She's a Texan. She's pretty badass. I like her.
Okay. Yeah, I'm old. I can't learn new things anymore in pop culture. I can't do it anymore.
You like once it gets past 2010, you're like, nope.
You remember Bill Burr talking about like you're in your bubble, and then like once you get out of your bubble, you can't learn new things anymore. Like everything you learned is in the bubble.
Yeah, gotta go back. Yeah, back.
Like I'm in the bubble. I'm in the bubble. Oh, God damn it. Encanto won animated film. No surprise there. It was a lot.
I wanted to be Mitchell's vs. Machines, but yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, you can't bet against Disney, and Disney had 3 up there.
Yeah, exactly. And then Flea. Flea was up for documentary, foreign film, and animated film. That's never happened in the history of the Academy Awards, so that was pretty cool. I got to see that. That's on Hulu. I might watch that when we're done here.
Yeah, if I've got Steam, I've got to watch this week's Filmgazm topic. But yeah, definitely if you watch it, let me know.
Yeah, I will.
Animated short went to the windshield wiper, which looked neat. I don't know what it's about, but the animation style looked creative.
Yeah, that's the thing about those shorts, those animated shorts. They always look more enticing to me than the actual films that are up for best animated. Because animated, it's always Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, maybe.
Yeah.
And then with the animated shorts, it's like these fucking real grown up, like adult type animated films. And I'm just curious about them. So there are places to watch these. And actually, we used to have a theater here, the Bijou in San Antonio, that used to show the shorts back to back to back to back. I would love to do that at some point in the future for a different ceremony.
Yeah, I definitely want to put. We put work in every year for these ceremonies, but I really wanted to have a clean slate on it one year. Just watch every nominee from short film to documentary, everything. I thought I was going to do it this time, but I'm in grad school, so no.
Yeah.
Next year, maybe.
Yeah, and as things get more normal, I think things will be easier to get access to. As we continue to kind of fight through COVID, and I think it'll get more more normal to be able to see that kind of stuff in theaters and have access to it. But I'm down if you are right now to make a pact that the 95th Academy Awards will be, for you and I, a clean slate kind of ceremony where we've seen everything.
A pact. Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
Yeah. We have.
Right.
I'm gonna guess next year it's they're gonna put it back to either early March or maybe even February again for the Oscars. I would, we got like a year, and I think it'd be cool if we both tried to, in whatever way it is, if it's seeing it in theaters or if it's finding it on YouTube, whatever it is, find everything that we can, and watch it all so that we have all these films under our belt, including animated shorts.
Okay, I'm in. I will shake your hand through this computer screen. That is a pact.
95th Academy Awards. Makes sense. We were born in 1995. Let's do it.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a good. All right. I like it. Cool. Let's do that. Because we have a family bet on the Oscars every year, and you obliterated us with like 20 out of 23 category. I can't. I've never gotten even close to that. So I applaud you. So clearly, I got to just follow what you do with these things and just watch what you're watching because you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I even though you've seen a lot more than I have from this ceremony for sure. I still have a lot of homework to do. I still really want to see, Parallel Mothers, and I want to see Worst Person in the World. I still haven't seen The Eyes of Tammy Faye, so I've got some fucking work to do. But I eat this shit up. I don't know what it is. I love listening to people talk about what's going to happen and talk about other award shows and following this pattern that seems to happen with these shows. And this year, this is the best I've ever done. True.
One thing I do want to talk about before we move, I loved the anniversary cast matchups that they had for the presenters, having Wesley Snipes, Rosie Perez, and Woody Harrelson come out for White Men Can't Jump was so cool.
Pulp Fiction,
Travolta and Thurman doing the fucking twist behind Sam Jackson. You can't get any more epic than that.
Yeah, those were really sweet. At one point, Francis Ford Coppola, Al Pacino, and Robert De Niro were on the stage together, and that was shortly after what happened with Will Smith happened, and I was like, this is not going to get enough attention that these three iconic people are on the stage at the same time. 50th anniversary of The Godfather. Like, holy shit, this is so cool.
I thought it was neat that Pacino and De Niro didn't say a word. And I'm like, well, they don't have to. That's Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. They have said enough.
Yeah.
Like, their very presence here is saying volumes.
It was almost like they were his bodyguards. And I was like, I like this. This is cool. It's like they're in character.
Yeah, that was Michael Corleone and a young Vito protecting the director.
Yeah. God, so badass, dude. Yeah, I really, really liked that stuff. I thought that was really neat. And I would like to see that happen again in the future. Just shout out movies that people love, And today, well, if you're listening to this, it's Monday, but yesterday, on the actual day of the Oscars, it was Quentin Tarantino's 59th birthday. So that was really neat to have the Pulp Fiction bit and those people come out there, this iconic film. So that was great.
Of course, Quentin Tarantino would be born on an Oscar Sunday. Is that guy, like, could he be any more representative of just like fucking movies?
Cinema? Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
It's amazing. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool touch. I was hoping for, considering Spider-Man had such a, hurricane of attention last year, I was hoping Holland, Garfield, and Maguire would come out and present something, but I guess not.
Yeah, they showed Garfield a bunch, because he was up for Tick, Tick, Boom, but didn't look like Tom Holland was there. Zendaya was there, but no Tom Holland, and I didn't see Toby.
I get why Toby's not there, but it was weird that Zendaya was there and Tom wasn't. Like, I wonder if is he filming something? I thought he was taking a break.
Yeah, me too. And Zendaya obviously is a part of Dune, so she was there supporting that. But it was like, how is Tom not there? Yeah, I was confused by that.
Yeah, weird. Best supporting actor. This was so cool. Troy Kotsur took this, became the first deaf actor to win this award. I loved who presented this one again? Somebody big.
Yeah, it was somebody huge. Oh, Minari from last year. She won Best
Yeah.
Supporting Actress.
Uh,
Her name escapes me. I'm gonna look it up, but that was such a sweet moment because it looked like she was his biggest fan.
I want to say Yo Jong Yoon. I hope that's correct.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I always stumble on Korean names, and I always feel bad that I stumble on Korean names.
Well, it's difficult, and we're big fans. Minari's a great film.
My heart is in the right place, believe me. But yeah, she signed it, and that's when everybody was like, "Oh!" And they all did the like sign language applause, and he came up there and gave a heartfelt, beautiful speech about his father and the deaf community that had me in absolute tears.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he won. It was such an amazing performance. I had bet on Cody Smith McPhee because I thought Power of the Dog was going to dominate this show. And I'm so glad it was CODA that kind of dominated the show because I loved that movie and I really wanted it to make a splash, but I thought it was going to get shut out. So that was a great start to what I felt was a very well-earned series of wins.
Yeah, and this was the sweetest moment of the whole show to me was him winning. The grace that he had on that stage was just really cool, and it was a story that was like worth our time. He was really going somewhere with his speech, and he fucking nailed it. Easily my favorite speech of the whole night. He was great.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see where this the doors this opens for him. An Oscar win, big fucking deal. So I'm hoping he gets to get to do some meatier stuff because he's a fantastic actor. I loved him in CODA.
Oh yeah, and he looks like so much fun to hang out with. So yeah, I would bet that he's gonna have a complete career resurgence. And this guy who's apparently been acting for a long time and has done different things on stage and has been all over the place. He finally got his like that little break that some people need.
Yeah, beautiful. Great. International film went to Drive My Car. No surprise there. If, safe bet. If a foreign film is also up for Best Picture, it's going to take foreign film or international.
Yeah, and Best Director. Hamaguchi is a guy who's been around for a long time. People love his work. He had 2 movies come out last year, and this is the one that kind of took everybody by storm. It's a great film. It's on HBO Max right now. Definitely recommend that one if you haven't seen it.
I haven't really gotten to talk about my thoughts on Drive My Car. Just the way I watched it was like an inconvenient time for all of our shows. I didn't really have a moment to spotlight it. But I did watch it. It took me 2 days. It's a 3-hour film.
It's long. Yeah.
But I loved it. It was a phenomenal story of grief and just kind of being stuck in a place where you can't really forgive somebody, but you also can't move on, and just having to kind of understand what you need to do to find that place. It was a beautiful, relatable, incredibly well acted drama that I'm very glad I watched. And I didn't expect to like it. So those are always the best, when you can get lost in a 3-hour Japanese drama about grief.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I really like that. That's definitely it's my second favorite film of the Best Picture nominees. Of course, Licorice Pizza is my favorite, of course, but I love Drive My Car. I think it's totally worth the 3 hours and does a lot of stuff. And some of the decision making from Hamaguchi is incredible. His patience is obviously his greatest attribute, and there's that one scene, I won't like spoil it or anything, but you'll know what I'm talking about, when they're in the car and finally the director and that young actor are like fucking talking back and forth, and the young actor tells that story. Oh my God, so tense. It's got these pockets of like genius filmmaking, and that's like why we watch stuff that's that long. If it has those random moments of juice where you're like, whoa, I gotta know what happens next, like holy shit.
Yeah.
It has a few of those and incredible performances. I really wish there would have been some nominations there, but I also was really upset while Hamaguchi was giving his speech after the movie won. They cut him off so quick, like God damn, the music started playing and he was like, like, give me a second. Like his English isn't great, but like, fuck off. Like, let the dude talk for a second. This is gonna be his only award. So please, like, let him be. That was frustrating, but it's an Oscar winner, and it will be an Oscar Sunday episode at some point.
Yeah, that was incredibly disrespectful.
Yeah.
There were some moments of this show that like felt like they weren't taking it seriously, or there was this like lack of respect around the like, you know, institution. I don't know what that was all about. Is that trying to be, you know, hip to the kids too? Like, hey, you know, we don't even care either. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, me neither, man. I don't. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I'm the same way where I'm like, am I reading into this too much, or is this really fucked? Yeah.
Yeah, it does, because we do Oscar Sunday, because we're constantly analyzing this shit. I can't help but just think like, do they care as much as I do? Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, yeah.
After that, we had Best Live Action Short, which went to The Long Goodbye, and I believe this is Riz Ahmed's win.
Correct. Yeah, and that seemed like a shoe-in type win, like a for sure done deal, because Riz Ahmed just was up last year for an Oscar, and Sound of Metal won stuff, and I was like, I feel like they're gonna recognize this guy because he's doing multiple things within the film industry. He's trying his hand at different things, and I think they like to reward that, just like they gave Questlove. Here's a guy who's been around for a long time in pop culture. Let's go ahead and give him the award for best doc. I think those things do matter with the Oscars. Like Kobe Bryant has an Oscar. It's like, was that really the best short from that year? I don't know, but it's fucking Kobe, so let's give him the award.
I don't like that. I don't.
Neither do I. But I think there's truth to it, and that's why I chose it on my predictions. I was like, yeah, I think Riz Ahmed's taking this shit. Yeah.
You're not wrong. There is truth to it. I think that's insincere. I don't like. It feels like a participation trophy to me, and I don't like participation trophies. I feel like if you earned it, you get it, and sometimes they just don't earn it. And there were a few this night that I don't feel were earned, but I feel like it's their turn kind of statue. This isn't one of them, but we're gonna get to one down the road.
This might be some fighting words, but I do think, in particular, the Screenplay Award, I think they gave to Branagh because he didn't get anything else. Ooh. I don't think Belfast. I'm not a huge fan of that one. I like, compared to Licorice Pizza. I don't know. And I mean, Don't Look Up is fucking far worse. So this category for original screenplay is usually my one of my very favorite categories. This year, no. I don't get down with it.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that, but not yet. I gotta calm down.
So you're gonna fucking slap me.
God damn
Christ.
I can honestly say I've never been that pissed. But then again, you know, no one's ever made fun of my wife's alopecia. I can't. I'm trying to wrap my head around the situation. I can't. I know we're gonna keep coming back to it because it's just so fucking crazy.
It is one of the most insane things. I mean, think about that moment when La La Land got read off and it was actually supposed to be Moonlight. This is that times 10, you know? So just a big deal.
This would have been like if, you know, Barry Jenkins walked up there, like Dex Warren Beatty for reading the wrong name.
Yeah.
Then it would be the same level, but no.
Yeah, exactly. Barry Jenkins. Yeah, right. Guy wouldn't hurt a fly.
Oh boy. Costume design. Cruella took this. To me, this was a no-brainer. When in doubt, pick the movie that is about fashion. It's costumes are what that movie's about. So that was a guarantee for me.
Yeah, and Jenny Beavan, I believe is her name. She's won. This is her third award. She's someone that's just been around for a long time when it comes to the Oscars and just knows what she's doing. Seems like a really cool lady. So yeah, I was cool with that.
The costume designers, whenever they win, they're always so fucking casual about it. It's like, oh, this is my 8th statue, whatever.
Yeah. I told Brianna, I was like, I loved what she was wearing. I thought it was really cool, but I couldn't help but think about Onglo from It's Always Sunny because of her hair. Danny DeVito.
Ongo Gablogian.
Yeah, the art collector. Yeah, derivative. Her hair was the exact same as that.
Jesus Christ, I didn't even notice that, but yeah, now I can see it. That's beautiful.
Anglo. So good.
God. Original screenplay. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Kenneth Branagh won this for Belfast, and I believe this was 100% earned. Belfast is a beautiful story that he took from his own childhood that he has clearly been wanting to make for a very long time. And just seeing him walk up there to Van Morrison's song, I was like, yes, I like Kenneth Branagh. He got an Oscar. He did it. Belfast won something. Yes, I was so happy. Yeah, I'll stand by that film. I was touched by it. I loved it. I was my pick for Best Picture behind like that and CODA were pretty neck and neck for me. Yeah, this was an earned win for me.
Yeah, I don't think it won anything else, and I think I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they've done this in the past. From just think they sometimes they like to spread the love. I don't know, and this is just 10 nominations now for Paul Thomas Anderson, and I'm just like, what does the guy have to do? What does he have to conjure up for you guys to give this guy an award?
Well,
so
a little straightforward narrative would be nice.
Well, that's not happening. It's never happening with him, and I think he knows it. He knows he's not going to ever win. Doesn't matter if he writes Boogie Nights or Licorice Pizza; it's not happening. Kenneth Branagh, though, nominated for Best Director and Best Actor in a Lead Role for Henry V from 1989. Best Short Film, Swan Song, 1992. Hamlet, 1996, Screenplay. Best Actor in a Supporting Role, My Week with Marilyn, 2011. And finally, now he has this win. So I do think it was a long time coming, right, for him as well. So I don't know. You and my oldest brother love Belfast, and so I was like, I'm gonna love this movie. And I watched it, and I was like, I don't know. I just wasn't that moved by it. And I also am not I'm not a big fan of Van Morrison. So like his music or his politics, I didn't think it matched well with the film like at all. And I thought the black and white photography like just was really flat and really kind of just like didn't stick out to me at all. The moment that I loved from that movie was when the High Noon music plays. That was the moment that I liked the most. I gave it a 7. I thought it was fine, but I didn't love it.
You're killing me, Smalls. Man, all right. Van Morrison, from what I'm gathering, is a bit of a piece of shit as a human being. I'm understanding that over the past year. But I love his music. Van Morrison has played in my house for 3 generations. I love his music so much.
Yeah,
it went perfectly with this Northern Irish story of family. Like,
yeah. Obviously, the connection of he's from Belfast. I actually think with that particular film, I just didn't think it really made sense. I wanted something more, I think, and I think my expectations were a bit too high, and that happens to me a lot.
Damn, this is the hardest we've disagreed on a film in a long time. Yeah, I got nothing.
Well, I love The Power of the Dog, and I know you're not. That's kind of like our swap. It's like I love The Power of the Dog. You're kind of like it's okay, and that's how I am with Belfast, and you love Belfast. It's kind of like a switch. It makes sense. Belfast is more your speed, and Power of the Dog is definitely more my speed. Really slow.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But yeah, I was happy to see Kenneth Branagh finally get a statue for a film that meant a lot to him personally. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, and I was happy. I was like, I bet Connor's really happy with that. So that was nice. I gotta say, man, Don't Look Up. Like as time goes on, I'm just kind of like, I'm never gonna fucking watch that movie again. I don't care. I don't think it belongs to this ceremony at all. if The Last Duel isn't here, if The French Dispatch isn't here, this movie certainly shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I'm going to give you that. Don't Look Up. I liked it in the moment. I feel like I won't like it the next time I watch it. It's one of those kind of like eights hanging off of a cliff kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another thing, I know this has nothing to do with the ceremony, but you mentioned Branagh got a screenplay nomination for Hamlet. What is he doing? Like, what are you doing to a Shakespeare script that gets you a nomination for a screenplay? It's a screenplay that was written hundreds of years ago. Like, how are you changing it?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen that 1996 one. I don't know. I probably will never watch it.
It's just weird. It bugs me when Shakespeare adaptations get nominations for screenplay. Like, who are you nominating? Shakespeare?
Yeah. That's good.
So yeah, he took screenplay, adapted screenplay, went to Sean Heater for CODA, which is cool. That I thought Power of the Dog had that locked.
So this is I thought it was Power of the Dog or Drive My Car for this one. I just learned a couple of days ago. I didn't know CODA was already a fucking movie.
Yeah, it's a remake.
Based on. I didn't know that. I don't like that as much. I don't like it's a French movie or
yeah.
So they're just like, let's just make it American. Let's just make it English speaking. I don't really like that. I thought it was a book.
No, it's a remake. I mean, yeah, remakes win in Best Picture. It raises some questions, but
that's like if West Side Story won. It's like, God, I don't want that.
That would piss me off. But yeah, I think maybe it's because I didn't know, or like take The Departed, for instance. That's a remake and still a celebrated American film too. So like,
sure,
it can be both. It can happen. Just
yeah. I wish Little Miss Sunshine would have won that year, but I hear what you're saying. It is a direct remake that's taking like everything from the story. So it makes me want to watch the French version and be like, okay, let's compare and contrast and see if they really changed stuff to make this stand on its own 2 feet, or is it just kind of like the same thing, copy and paste. I just thought it was a book when I first. Also, CODA, I need to rewatch. I don't remember a lot of it. I haven't seen it in like a year because it came out on Apple TV Plus, and you were like, dude, this movie's really good. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. It was like in like April or May when I watched it. Like It's been a long time since I've seen this movie.
I think it's hilarious that Apple TV Plus has a Best Picture winner before Netflix does.
Oh yeah, that's great.
But also, I host the sneak preview. I make it my mission to watch as much as I can get my hands on for that show. So I have to see a lot more. I see a lot more than you guys do.
Oh yeah.
So CODA was. It hurts sometimes. But CODA was one that I watched on a whim because I was like, I think I watched the other movies that week and was like, I had some time. So I said, all right, let's try this. And I adored it. I was blown away. I was drawn in. I thought the performances were great. I thought the story was beautiful. And it stayed with me. It never left. So yeah, I think you could probably benefit from a rewatch.
Yeah, no, I'm going to, because, it fucking won the biggest award of the night. And I'm going to rewatch it soon. And my fiance hasn't seen it. So we definitely are going to sit down and watch that soon. I just, it's just so weird that it like gained steam at the right time.
Yeah.
It had some kind of, I don't know what it was. It had some kind of wave where people were like, CODA's fucking awesome. And everybody likes it. It's going to make you cry. It's great. And I was just like, where the hell did this come from? Because I saw this months ago, just really weird when that just doesn't happen very often where a movie goes that full cycle. It's even weird when a movie like Get Out, which came out in March of 2017, was up for Best Picture and had a good campaign and won screenplay. Black Panther came out in February, almost a whole calendar year before the Academy Awards that it competed again. But CODA won. It won the biggest award of the night and won Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Supporting Actor. Like it made some moves, So I've got to see it again, because I remember it. I'm not saying like, oh, I forgot it because it's bad. I need to refamiliarize myself with it because I don't remember it like I do Drive My Car or King Richard because I watched those in the past couple weeks.
Yeah. I also found out like the day after you Venmoed me for King Richard. It got put on HBO.
I know, like literally 24 hours later. Yeah, it's fine. I enjoy it.
I felt so bad.
Yeah. Me too. I was like, that was dumb, but I really liked it, so I wasn't that upset. You know, if it would have been a movie I didn't like, if it was fucking Don't Look Up, I would have been like, God, curse you, John Deere.
Oh, adapted screenplay, CODA, well done. Score, Hans Zimmer took home his second statue of his career. That was a lock. The score for Dune was beautiful and amazing and revolutionary. And he was on tour, so Jason Momoa accepted the award on his behalf. Good old Duncan, Idaho.
Yeah, which is probably Momoa's only chance to ever like accept an award at the Oscars. So, you know, no, I think he knows it too. I think he doesn't really give a shit. He's like, whatever, man. Like, I'm just doing shit I enjoy. Fuck it.
He looked like Sasquatch standing next to Josh Brolin. That was wild.
Okay, yeah, I was like, that's fucking Thanos, and that's Jason Momoa. You know, like, and then Regina Hall was like, getting real familiar with both of them. That was odd.
Yeah, how come? Yeah, that seems like a double standard we should probably make put more attention on.
Yeah. They had to be like really okay with that because Josh Brolin like stuck his ass out. They had to have like really talked about that, because if that just happened on a whim and she just kind of went for it, that would be really weird.
Yeah,
you know,
like if Chris Rock just came out and started feeling up Penelope Cruz, you'd have Javier punching him too.
Yeah. Not slapping, punching. Yeah.
Oh, just weird to me. What this was a weird show. This is a weird show.
yeah. Where I thought it was really successful in some places and, you know, did a good job and like went smoothly. And other places it just was like, what the fuck? We're never gonna get a normal Oscars, not in this day and age.
I know. I miss the 80s. I miss the 90s. I mean, when the weirdest thing you'd get was like a streaker behind David Niven.
Yeah. You like have Robin Williams doing like kind of inappropriate voices. Like, okay, whatever. We can get over that.
And one of the funniest things he ever said was when he was presenting Best Supporting Actress in '98, and he said, like, as Adam said to Eve, "Stand back. I don't know how big this gets." Yeah. I miss those days.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's. I also, it's too easy to know about some stuff that's going to happen because of the internet, because of, you know, the way things are and the thousands of opinions that are out there and how late the Oscars were this year. It was like, man, like there's so much time for going into the show. It was kind of like, okay, well, it's going to be CODA or Power of the Dog. Like we all knew 100% Nightmare Alley had no chance, you know? I don't want that. I want to go into the show thinking any horse has a chance. Well, that's just not going to happen.
A big part of that is shaving it to 5. It's, you know, if you have 10, you're only paying attention to like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. For more on that, check out Oscar Sunday this past week, where Caleb and I just eviscerated the Oscars over issues much like that.
Yeah.
Best editing went to Dune.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can never really explain film editing. I've tried, but I can never explain like what's good, what's bad. I don't know.
I think you know when you know. You know, I think it's one of those techniques that's like, okay, it's obvious when it's bad. It's obvious when it's good. You don't notice. That's how you know it's good.
That's true. Next up, we got Best Documentary, which went to Summer of Soul, Questlove's documentary, which looks very intriguing. I didn't get to see any of these. I could probably find them pretty easily, though. Just, you know,
yeah,
time.
Yeah, this is the only one I've seen. Summer of Soul. It's on Hulu. Yeah, you would fucking love it, dude. It's awesome.
Very cool. This meant a lot to him. He gave a very tearful speech and had to kind of absorb the immediate fallout from the Slapgate, as I'm sure they're going to start calling it.
Slapgate, yeah, that's definitely
You heard it here first. Damn it.
God.
Slapgate is mine.
Slapgate. Hashtag Slapgate. God. Yeah. And we're recording this it's past midnight at this point, right? Here Central Time in Texas after the ceremony. So there's things happening on the internet and people talking about it that we're not really seeing because we're trying to do a little show here for you guys. So there's stuff that we will know on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm sure that we're not gonna be able to talk about right now, but there's all kinds of stuff flying around in the air about what happened in that particular moment. And fucking sucks for Questlove. And these other filmmakers who made a really good documentary about music and that people should seek out. I'm always down to watch documentaries, and I love knocking out Academy, Oscar nominated documentaries. Mm-hmm. The one I want to see the most is Flea, because that's again the one that was up for foreign film, animated film, and documentary. So I'm definitely going to try to check out Flea soon.
I really want to see Attica.
Yeah, that looks so stirring. Yeah,
story of the riot from the prisoners who were there. I mean, that's some surreal shit. So I definitely want to hear about that. I also want to throw out some props to Diddy for doing his best to immediately diffuse that situation. Said, we're gonna fix this with love. We're gonna do this, talk about this like family, but like for now, let's talk about the Godfather. Like, good job, Diddy. Like, well done on that.
Yeah. I thought that was like some serious class from fucking Diddy Combs. Like that was really cool.
As weird as it was for me to like, why is Diddy the one presenting the Godfather? I was like, you know what? All right, cool. Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah, I'm rocking with it. Yeah.
But that moment when Coppola, Pacino, and De Niro came out and just absorbed this 50-year legacy, the oddly, probably the most influential people in the room at that point. So many careers were inspired by these guys.
I mean, I think it's the only Best Picture, winner / box office monster movie that everybody fucking likes. We can all agree on The Godfather. Like it's this undisputed classic. Very rarely do I hear someone say anything of ill will towards The Godfather 1 and 2.
There's a whole Family Guy joke about, Peter didn't care for The Godfather, and the whole family's like, how can you even say that? Like, they're so flabbergasted. Yeah, but like, what other Best Picture winner is getting their own mini series about its production? Like, nothing. It's The Godfather.
Yeah. There's nothing from, some of my favorite movies of all time are Best Picture winners, but there's not one that I feel is as like important and as well liked as that 1972 Godfather.
True. And before we go too far into the last bit of the show, I didn't want to forget this: 60 years of James Bond.
Dude, I knew that was a big moment for you. And what the fuck was up with Tony Hawk, Kelly Slater, and Shaun White, 3 sport athletes, like doing this? Like, that was a little odd, but cool, I guess.
I guess so. They're supposed to be the greatest in their field.
Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing. But
I only knew Tony Hawk. Sorry.
Yeah, Kelly Slater is a surfer, and Shaun White is a snowboarder. So it's like, oh, okay, I get it, I guess. But it was weird.
I read that Tony Hawk like severely injured his leg, like broke his femur or something, like a few weeks ago, and he seemed fine.
Yeah, he is, Tony. Tony just hanging out. Yeah,
like I was reading that like there was a decent chance he might not walk again, like that kind of crazy ass injury, but he was fine.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Unreal. I guess it wasn't that big of an injury after all.
Not for Tony. Yeah, Tony's just like, whatever. Yeah.
But that was so cool. A 60-year montage. Dr. No to No Time to Die, set to Paul McCartney's Live and Let Die. That was awesome.
Well, it was. I also have another thing to shout out before we move on, but that right there is the stuff that for me and you, I know, and I think we're speaking for a lot of fans, cinephiles. That's the kind of shit that will change our perspective on the Academy, because they've shut out those movies forever for 60 years.
Yeah,
they finally have come around, here and there with the Daniel Craig ones, but it's like, ugh, these are huge films for people who just love watching entertaining movies, spy movies, action movies. And so to kind of give it that time, that's all we're asking for is respect. Respect these films, respect this franchise that means a whole lot to movie fans.
Well, it brought to mind for me the huge missed opportunity they had at 2012 when Skyfall, it was the 50th anniversary of Bond, and they were going to bring out all the James Bond actors, Sean Connery, George Lazenby, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and Daniel Craig were going to come out together and just be there together. And I remember reading it was Pierce Brosnan who ultimately said no. And so the whole thing was, it was a huge, I was so pissed. Sean Connery was going to leave the Bahamas and appear on stage for the first time in 20 years. And Pierce was like, I don't want to do that.
Does that make you just hate him or what?
A little bit, because now, Connery and Moore are dead. So this is never going to happen again. So yeah, I hate him a little bit for that.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, hey man, you're not even the best fucking Bond, bitch.
Who are you to put this franchise's legacy behind you?
The only person who could be like, I'm okay, is Connery. The only one who could be like, I've got other stuff to do. And you'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. He's old. He's doing his thing. Yeah. But you just came off of this shit. What are you doing? You need this.
Yeah, Connery honestly is the one I was like, when I heard they were trying to do that, I'm like, well, he's not going to do this. And then he said, okay. And I was like, oh my God. I was so bummed out about that. I think about that from time to time, what we could have, that would have been such a cool moment.
Yeah, it truly would have been. The other moment I want to shout out is because you and I went there, was when they talked about the Academy Museum, and Wanda Sykes walked around it for a bit. It immediately gave me chills. Just even if she was joking a lot, I wasn't really paying attention to what she was saying. I was just looking at where she was in the museum, and I was like, oh my God, I want to go back. I want to go back to this place. And that was a really cool experience, because it was stuff that I just wasn't expecting it to be as cool as it was. I knew it was going to be fun, and it was going to be like a cool day, museum day that you and I, when we went to LA and we got to visit it. I didn't know I was going to walk out of there like, oh my God, I just saw a lot of my favorite movies of all time represented. I just saw a huge exhibit, a whole room dedicated to Spike Lee, a guy who has notoriously been shut out at crucial points in his by the Academy. And there was a whole Studio Ghibli fucking exhibit. It's okay, they're clearly trying to change some kind of their image, and try to change the way people think about the Academy and Oscars in general. And that's good. And there were things throughout this show, throughout the ceremony, where I was like, I'm enjoying myself. I'm having fun watching this shit. And that James Bond thing was at one of the top things of that list, and the anniversary stuff, Godfather, Pulp Fiction, White Men Can't Jump, the Juno thing. That was great. That's a screenplay that's over 10 years old now that we love, and reminds us of why we love movies. So those little things I thought were really cool. I don't want to just be down on the show or just hate on the Oscars. I thought there were good things about this, and there were slight changes and ways that they embraced, the craft that we love. So I don't know. I'm always going to be hopeful, right, that they keep doing things like that to kind of change their the way we view them and respect them.
Yeah, well, they're kind of trapped in a eternal attempt to rejuvenate themselves, because every year they're losing more and more viewership, and they try to come up with how can we appeal And the truth is, you really can't. Like, people who like movies are going to watch this. People who aren't. Like, you can't really do anything about that. But what you can do is appeal to the film fans and really embrace the concept of loving film in any way that you can, and just make a show for them. And I hope that, they start to move in that direction.
Yeah. Well said, man.
Best production design went to Dune. I think Dune took every technical award.
Yeah. Which was like, oh, how cool it would be if Dune won Best Picture. It was like, this would be awesome. People really liked that movie, and like went to their fucking theater to see it. So that was cool. How it kind of like stayed in our minds throughout the night. Like, oh yeah, Dune was a pretty kick-ass experience.
Yeah, I'd like to watch it again. It was I liked it, but at the same time I was like, this is definitely an acquired taste. Dune is it's like preachy Star Wars.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it has its fans. There a lot of people went to the theater for it, which is rare these days. And I liked it. I'm with you. I would love to see it again. Of course, I'm going to watch it again before part 2 ever comes out. But I think it requires like a certain mood, a certain setting to really appreciate it. I'm mainly interested in kind of experiencing Hans Zimmer's score again.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Very cool. The production design is amazing in Dune. Not really a surprise there. Technically, this film is constructed like a fucking painting. It is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So it won. It deserved every win it got.
Yeah. I'm totally with you on that. I think it's gonna be cool. Say 10 years from now, hopefully we're still doing all these fucking podcasts and we're doing an Oscar Sunday on this ceremony, and I'm like, Dune is the big winner from this ceremony with 6 fucking awards. Like that would be really cool. That will happen at some point.
Best original song, which I was the only one that was really kind of worried about, because I'm like, this is either going to be a EGOT for Lin-Manuel Miranda or a James Bond hat trick. Like, what are we going to get here? And we got the Bond hat trick. Billie Eilish won for No Time to Die. I'm so happy.
Yeah, me too. I was pulling for that one pretty hard. Happy for Billie and her brother, Phineas.
Yeah.
Billie Eilish's full name. Like, I was wondering, because I was like, Phineas O'Connell and Billie Eilish. I was like, aren't they fucking related? Aren't they siblings? They are. Billie Eilish's full name is Billie Eilish Baird Pirate O'Connell. Pirate. Yeah, pirate is in her actual name. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Why didn't she? I mean, if you're gonna be a pop star, why not be Billie Pirate?
That's what we were saying. We were like, dude, like, why would you not have? Yeah, it's Billie Eilish Pirate Baird O'Connell. That's the full name. She's 20 years old. Crazy.
God damn it! Weird ass parents, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know their family situation. I'm just saying, I've never met a well-adjusted person with the name Pirate.
Yeah, me neither, man. I don't know about all that. Yeah, because that's a.
I did like her reaction to the winning. She was like just super excited and flabbergasted. Couldn't really form words. Was just like, "Oh my god!" And I wish more people were honest about their win and trying to be like all poised. Just let it out. You're excited. Be excited.
Yeah. That's why that there's those famous moments like Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, that's organic. That's cool. Like, you couldn't hold it back. I also appreciated the way she responded, and it's cool. That's got to be cool to win something with your sibling. That's that special.
Yeah, and that song came out 3 years ago. Which is pretty nuts. And I found out through the Oscar Sunday, Caleb never listened to it until the movie came out. He resisted.
I like that.
Apparently,
That's cool.
that's his thing. He does not listen to music like that's released before the movie. Like in any situation, he holds off on that shit, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I definitely dig that. I think I'm gonna adopt that. I'm gonna start doing that as well.
I know myself. I do not have that kind of self control. I don't have it. If I find out the new Bond theme is out, I am immediately going to listen to it.
Oh, that's great.
Best director. Jane Campion took this for Power of the Dog. She was the favorite. This is probably going to go to her. But after Power of the Dog got widely shut out from the rest of the show, I'm starting to think like, are they not going to give it to Jane? Is somebody else going to take this? But no.
Yeah. I did. For a minute, I was like, are they going to give this motherfucker to Spielberg or something? Like, what's going on? You know? And I'm glad it went to Campion. I think it was cool to see her kind of. I don't want to call it a career Oscar because I really like The Power of the Dog, but she's been around for a long time. She's been doing stuff for a long time. She was nominated back in the 90s. Well, she won screenplay for The Piano. And she comes all the way back home. That's why I thought it would have been cool if it won Best Picture, because she just kind of created this incredible filmography over the past, 30 years or so. And it would be cool to kind of see it cap off here. But maybe she'll get another chance. How cool is it that we have two female Best Director winners back to back? Chloe Zhao, Jane Campion, and only three in its entire existence as a category. Just those two and Catherine Bigelow. So it is cool to see her win. I think The Power of the Dog looks unbelievable and is a movie that if you track yourself in it and you just kind of get lost, it can reward you. And I was happy to see her win.
Well, clearly female directors have a lot of stolen time to make up for.
Yeah. It's 3 out of 94, Yeah.
So that was that. I think that's the only one Power of the Dog took.
Yeah, it is. I thought I was gonna win like 4 or 5, and it got 1. Yeah.
Next up, Best Actor, which everyone was kind of like, boy.
Yeah.
I was really hoping the Academy was going to just give this to Andrew Garfield, as they should have. Instead, Will Smith got his career Oscar and had a lot to say and proved to me that I am pretty sure he's on the verge of a complete nervous breakdown. He doesn't seem okay. Something's wrong with Will Smith.
Interesting. That's what my brother said. After the show ended, he like said those like almost those exact same words. He was like, if I was friends with him, I'd be worried.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. It's like word for word, y'all on the same fucking wavelength. Yeah. I don't think this is a great group of performances. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. These 5, it's 5 very powerful men within the industry, all previously nominated. And you have Denzel, who's getting his 10th nomination here, performance nominee. Yeah.
Wow.
Already has his 2 wins for Glory and Training Day. I think it's gonna be really hard for him to win ever again because he's got so much accumulated at this point. Andrew Garfield, he was nominated for Hacksaw Ridge and now this, so I think he's gonna get one at some point. Benedict Cumberbatch, Imitation Game, now this. I think at some point he's gonna figure something out as well. Javier Bardem, I think this is his 5th nomination altogether. Like the dude's just a superstar. Obviously, he won Best Supporting for No Country. And Will Smith, it was his time. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. But I also don't think anyone's straight up demanding it from him in this group. I haven't seen Tick Tick Boom, so I can't totally say. But I love Andrew Garfield, so I'm always going to be kind of like biased. I just love that guy to death. I think he's incredible. I think he should have been up for Best Supporting Actor for Social Network. I think he should have been up for Under the Silver Lake. I think he's had probably 5 roles that he like should have been up for. I thought he was the best part of from performance wise from No Way Home. the dude's just a superstar. But it seemed like the past like 5 months, it was Will Smith's. Like I never really blinked about it. I was like, yeah, he's gonna win this. Like he's gonna win for this performance, which is a good performance. It's a good movie. And I think it's an important movie, but it's not compared to other stuff we've seen. Even last year, Anthony Hopkins, that performance is way better to me than this year's. I think you can look back in recent history and just be like, yeah, these others were much stronger. I just don't think it's the strongest group. It's a strong group of men, but not a strong group of performances overall. I will watch Tick Tick Boom. It's not typically my kind of film, that one, but I believe it's on Netflix. It has been the whole time, so I'll check it out at some point, and I will probably agree with you because I love him so much. But I don't know. I wish it was a different slate.
See, I do think Garfield deserved this for Tick Tick Boom.
Okay.
His performance in that movie is stellar. I think that was, a better performance, a stronger performance. I do, I don't like career Oscars, and to me, this felt like a Will Smith career Oscar. And after the events of an hour prior, that shit was tainted. And he apologized to the Academy. He apologized to his fellow nominees, but I got this vibe that he needs to talk to somebody. I don't know what's wrong with Will Smith, but the man seems fragile. He seems like he's on the edge of a complete collapse. And I hope he's okay.
Yeah. God, this could have been avoided, This whole situation just could have been avoided with just some talking, I guess. I don't know. And not talking about a woman's hair. Just stay away from that. And I really stupid, but he won, and he goes on and very long speech. Just kind of went to different places, never really made a whole lot of sense to me during the speech. I think obviously he's rattled, and the night had other stuff going on. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about it. It's just, I feel like I need to sleep on it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it was that kind of crazy of an event. Like, I don't really know what to say. And I'm trying to hold back because I've never really been a big fan of his. I think his movie career is just like whatever. I'm a big fan of Fresh Prince, but like that's a sitcom, and that's just trying to do things that are way different than what his movies have. I mean, like he's in like Suicide Squad and Hancock and like movies that I just don't give a shit about. And so I don't know. I'm trying to like not dog on him, but I'm also trying not to like be like, yeah, King Richard's, yeah, he deserves it. Because I guess I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't know.
I like a lot of his films, but I kind of, I feel like ego got the better of him in the like mid to late 2000s, and he never really felt as relevant as he used to be. I know he had like, a bout with Scientology and just this weird open relationship with his wife that clearly got into his head. And I feel like there's an avalanche about to happen. And I don't know what's going to happen when that does happen. But I mean, the way he was talking about like God has shown me what to do, and like crazy, like that's some crazy shit to say.
Yeah. I hate to say this, but it like reminded me of like some stuff Kanye has done.
Oh boy.
It was just kind of like, dude, like God's using you. What are you talking about? Like, I don't know. I guess his other two nominations, Ollie and Pursuit of Happiness, I like better. I guess but I don't know. It's just weird that this is. Here we are talking about it. It's like it's the thing that people are gonna talk about and gravitate towards because it's fascinating. But there's just so much other cooler shit that happened in the night.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see how this unfolds.
Yeah, I'm sure. As the week moves along, Connor, you and I will be texting about it. We'll be hearing about it, and that's just kind of be the reality. Because that shit fucking happened.
Yes, it did. Next up, Anthony Hopkins showed up to the Oscars, which he never fucking does. He hasn't been to an Oscars in a very long time, so that was weird. To present Best Actress. And Jessica Chastain took this for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. I did not expect that. Jessica Chastain, I love her as a performer, but I assumed she was going to have a similar relationship to the Oscars that Amy Adams has, with frequent nominations, never a win. But here we are, Academy Award winner Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. I haven't seen this film. I've actually only seen two of these. I've seen Being the Ricardos and Lost Daughter. I will get to Parallel Mothers at some point. Fucking dying to see that. Spencer, I don't think I'm ever gonna watch that movie. And then The Eyes of Tammy Faye, I'll definitely be getting to. Not sure if it's on a streaming service right now or what. Oh, there you go. A lot of them are on HBO. But I'm very happy for her. I love Jessica Chastain. I love her in Tree of Life. I love her in Zero Dark 30. Most Violent Year. I just think she's a fucking superstar. One of the best that we have.
Yeah. And this was a powerhouse performance. This film is, a lot of people have been avoiding it because they think it's, glorifying the crimes of Jim Baker, but it's not. It's humanizing Tammy Faye Baker, who actually did want to help people. And she does a great job playing this larger than life uber Christian figure. And then, of course, the film won Best Makeup immediately after or before that. So,
yeah,
2 Oscars for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. And I love that she's a winner now.
Yeah, me too. That's the most important thing. Is like, when you Amy Adams is such a good example of like, it would be a damn shame. She already has 6 nominations and no wins. It'd be a damn shame if all this time went by and then you're like, oh fuck, we haven't given her one. And then you have something happen like what happened with Al Pacino, where he had all these amazing movies in the 70s and they're like, oh shit, we didn't get, so we got to give one for Scent of a Woman. And then you're stealing from Denzel Washington for Malcolm X. And it's like, you can't do that. You got to do it in the moment. And I think they finally did it in the moment with Chastain and they got it right. Yeah. I haven't seen this, but I trust my fellow Chastain fans, and I know you're a big one. So, yeah, I'll probably watch this movie this week.
I honestly, I can't stress enough. I'm so happy Kristen Stewart didn't win. I don't care for her. I didn't think her performance in Spencer was all that. And I don't care. I don't like her. She broke Batman's heart. I don't need her.
I'm not a big fan of what she's put together. The only reason I like Kristen Stewart as an actress is fucking Adventureland, like a movie that I'm just like obsessed with, that I've been obsessed with since I was in middle school. Like, that's it. There's nothing else in her filmography where I'm like, oh yeah, like she's really bringing the heat, and I just don't really care, fucking sue me. I just don't really care about seeing Spencer. I just don't. It's just one of those that I'm like, I'm going to stay away from that one unless I absolutely have to watch it. Really the only way I would watch it is if we did an Oscar Sunday on The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and watch the other fucking Best Actress nominees. That's like the only way. I'm never doing it out of my own like pleasure.
I saw it at the theater. I paid movie ticket prices to see Spencer.
No thanks.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't done that. But thankfully, that's not the case. The night ended with Lady Gaga and a very ill-looking Liza Minnelli. Did not expect that. Presenting Best Picture. Minnelli apparently looks like she might have Parkinson's. I haven't looked into it, but she's in a wheelchair and she looks looks rough.
Yeah, and that was sad. They were shouting out Cabaret from hitting its 50-year anniversary, and the awesome Bob Fosse film, and an Oscar-winning movie that like did really well back in the 70s. But that was really sad. She was stumbling over her words, wasn't quite remembering exactly what they were doing, and like Lady Gaga handled it really well. I like Lady Gaga more and more just as time goes on, and like the more I'm like I see her on TV or see her in movies, I'm like, she fucking rules. She kicks ass. Why is she not nominated for Best Actress? Like, what the fuck? Like, she's awesome. Everybody likes her. She can do everything. She's got this like angelic voice. She can fucking act with the best of them, and she just seems like a stand-up kind of person. So I really wish she would have been nominated, but I'm glad she was there with Liza, and that they're the ones who announced the big of the night.
CODA.
CODA.
I love it. I'm so glad it won. It was a good cap off for what was getting to be just a rough, tense, awkward night. But CODA, in my opinion, saved it. And well done. That's the Oscars for the 94th Academy Awards. There it is. Now I feel like the mayor in The Nightmare Before Christmas, where I'm like, there's only 365 days left till the next Oscars.
Like, better get fucking prepared. Yeah.
What do we do? We got to get started.
We need our Jack Skellington, man. Yeah. I just watched that movie a few days ago. So good. Man, this is crazy, isn't it? Like, CODA, motherfucking CODA won Best Picture. And I mean, it beat Belfast. It beat Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. CODA beat all these movies that are made by, Kenneth Branagh, Adam McKay, fucking Amaguchi, Denis Villeneuve, like these Paul Thomas Anderson, Jane Campion, Steven Spielberg, these monstrous filmmakers, Guillermo del Toro for Nightmare Alley. Like, these are huge directors, filmmakers that have been around for decades, and CODA beat their asses. Like, that's so crazy. I think that's insane. I don't think it's going to get enough like attention because of everything else that happened. I got to rewatch this movie because, like, it's not my favorite. I know that, like, personally, it's not my favorite of the bunch, but I liked it, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy for that cast and crew, and I'm happy for all the deaf people who have something to like fuck yeah, look what happened. You stick to your guns, you make a story that's close to your heart, you stick with what you know, and bam, something really amazing can happen. And I love that. I love that about it. I think it's a really cool, like, underdog type story.
Yeah.
But maybe you can help me here, because I'm not saying any of these movies are like way better than her or anything, but doesn't CODA look kind of weird as far as the way it's filmed and the way it presents itself? Not the performances, not the story, certainly, but just the way it looks and the way it's filmed. Doesn't it look a little bit like cheaper than most Best Picture winners?
Well, that's probably due to, a young crew and a very cheap production. I mean, they, mentioned, like, putting this thing together was not easy. So, I mean, they worked with what they had, and they crafted a film that meant a lot to a lot of people, and is going to be influential now, considering it's a Best Picture winner. I think it's cool that a film that was kind of put together with duct tape beat all these giant productions. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I do too. It was a budget of 10 million, and then some of these other movies, Dune, come on. West Side Story cost, just a fucking fortune. I like that, but I also remember, and this is the main reason I want to watch it, because I remember some of those moments that, like, made me cry, especially as being a father to a daughter now. I remember connecting with this movie and being like, wow, like that was powerful. But I never thought once when I was watching it, like, this looks like a fucking Best Picture type film. I never thought that. And I've got people that I know, including my brother, who is like, this looks kind of like a Hallmark movie almost, the way it kind of looks. And then I was like, okay, that seems kind of harsh. And then I looked on Letterboxd. I was like, oh, people are saying that. That's like a thing. People are saying it just looks kind of cheap. And I don't know. That's just weird compared to what we've seen. Like, compare this to Nomadland or Parasite. Like, those movies are fucking breathtaking and look unreal, and have masters of their craft working behind the camera. I don't think CODA has that. I think that's why I'm kind of like, really? It's cool. I'm cool with it, but like, what? Like, that's kind of wild compared to some of these other masters who in my opinion made there's some of these movies are really good. I don't know. I'm just kind of stuck. I almost rewatched it today before or yesterday before the ceremony, but I didn't, and now I regret it. Because I feel like I need to clear up some stuff. Like I need closure.
Well, director Sean Heder, this is only her second full length film, so that might be part of it. I mean,
yeah,
Parasite and Nomadland were like culmination films. Like they've done a lot. They've honed their craft. She's still figuring it out.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, Jaws was Steven Spielberg's second film. I think people. Magnolia is Paul Thomas Anderson's second film, but really Boogie Nights is his second film. And Hard Eight is his first. I think people do like Pulp Fiction is Quentin Tarantino's second film. I don't know. I don't really know exactly what I'm trying to say. I just don't know if it's like this movie that 20 years from now, I'm going to be like, yeah, that fucking is one of the better Best Picture winners from that era. I don't know.
Well, CODA is not, I'm not saying it's one of the greatest Best Picture winners of all time, that it's going to be a film that's going to last forever, but it has something to say now. And that's important. It might not be this masterpiece that lasts forever, but somebody somewhere now is going to find comfort in this film. I found comfort in this film, and that means something. So I'm going to take that.
Yeah, that's fair. You understand what I'm trying to say, though?
Not really.
No.
I didn't see a Hallmark quality in it. I didn't see it.
I don't think it's that bad, but I don't think it, even during the clip that they showed for it, I was like, oh yeah, like, I mean, like, Power of the Dog looks like this fucking incredible experience. Just the lens that they're using. And CODA, I was like, it does look like it could be something that was for TV. Maybe not Hallmark. That's pretty harsh, but for TV.
Well, maybe that's just Apple. Maybe they just don't look as good, because their other films don't really pop.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really know where the fault lies, or even if I can't really see the fault, but I'm trying to decipher what you're trying to find here.
I think ultimately, I think it's gonna fall. I'm afraid, legacy wise, it's just not gonna stand up over time.
Yeah, but to be fair, most of them don't. Most Best Picture winners don't.
I mean, but we've also, Parasite was just 2 years ago, and I think that movie looks unreal and is unreal and has great characters, great story, all the above. I think a lot of movies from the 70s have that. I think Amadeus has that. I think Silence of the Lambs has that. I think, I think there's like half of the Best Picture winners that like belong. And then I think this isn't in the bad half, but I don't think it's in the good half either. I think it's like in this weird middle ground. That's like, okay, cool.
Fair enough. But all this shit's subjective. Like, I don't see a lot of staying power in Nomadland.
Okay. Yeah. I think that movie's like, I think the photography of it is just this, like, it's a total feat, like what Chloe Zhao did with that.
True, but it's basically just a documentary with
no
story or really any driving force. It's just watching this lady live in a van and go from job to job to make ends meet. Like, okay, how is that more impactful legacy wise than a young woman and her deaf family figuring out the importance of music?
Okay, that's where I think this is great, because I think that's where we, like, you're coming at it from a story perspective, and I'm coming at it from a feel, a vibe, and the way it looks perspective. And I think movies can like lose their touch if they don't look good, and I don't think CODA looks very good.
Well, agree to disagree then, because I just don't see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it, man, so I can kind of figure this out, because it's like bothering me. I'm like, God damn it, what is it that's, you know, on the tip of my tongue that I don't really understand.
Well,
but overall, this group is just not the strongest in my opinion. Like, this Best Picture group, I don't know. I mean, I love Licorice Pizza with all my heart. I never thought I was going to win Best Picture, but I think it is much better than CODA. I think after that, my second favorite is probably Drive My Car, and I would take Drive My Car over CODA any day of the week. After that, I don't really know. The rest of them are fine, you know. I like The Power of the Dog personally, but I get why it's boring. It's slow, but I like it. But I also don't think it's like this movie that's going to last forever. West Side Story, take it or leave it. Nightmare Alley, I think, is really underrated. I had fun with that one. King Richard, decent. Dune, decent. Don't Look Up, not for me. Belfast, not really for me. So yeah, I just don't really. This group doesn't really shine like, especially like 2019 or 2014, or, you know, some of those more recent years that I've really connected to.
well, I'll just say this: if I was splitting this to 5, CODA stays.
I think it misses the cut for me.
Okay.
I think it's probably 7, maybe. I don't know. I mean, yeah, Licorice Pizza, Drive My Car, Dune, Nightmare Alley, and Power of the Dog is probably the 5 I would take.
Mine's probably Belfast, CODA, Drive My Car, Licorice Pizza, and Dune.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Interesting. I like when we get to kind of, I guess it's arguing, but yeah.
Just figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Maybe I should rewatch CODA too. Maybe maybe I've projected too much of a positive memory on it. Maybe I've forgotten some negative aspects of the film, because that could happen too. Because I watched it back in April too, and I haven't seen it since.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna rewatch it, because yeah, my oldest brother and his wife watched it like a week ago, and they were both like, "What's the big deal?" And I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "I liked it. I liked it. I don't remember." And so now I've got this weird taste in my mouth, and now I'm like, "Fuck." I wish I would have rewatched it before the show, you know. So yeah, that's gonna happen this week, and, you know, we'll fucking talk about it again after we both rewatched it, or maybe one day we're gonna do a Best Picture showdown based on fucking CODA, and we'll get to talk about all this shit again.
Yeah, this is all these films are a cemented piece of Oscar history, of film history now, and I mean, that's what it's all about. So props to all the winners, even Will Smith, and good, happy watching, I guess.
Yeah. You know what movie I would take almost over all these Best Picture nominees is fucking Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, I mean, if I was adding films, that to their Tragedy of Macbeth should have gotten a spot there.
I really liked that one. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was a strong movie. It's weird, I got nothing. I don't know the politics. I don't know what 15-minute clip of all of these films the Academy members watched.
True. Jesus. I hate thinking about that. Yeah.
I know. It's rough. My family didn't believe me when I told them. They were like, "There's no way." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's how this is all done."
Yeah. everything you've been told is a lie. Yeah.
More thought apparently goes into beauty pageants. Who knew?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, that's the Oscars. Can't wait for the 95th. We now have packed to watch every single film that's considered. So we're going to try to make that happen. That's going to be tough. Although I don't think it should be tough. I mean, looking at this, I've got maybe 70% of these watched.
There you go. Just push a little bit harder, watch those shorts, and you're in.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. This turned out to be a much weirder, more uncomfortable episode than we expected it to be. Thanks so much, Chris Rock, for that.
Yeah, no kidding. God damn it.
Yeah. Hope Sandler's still going to give you work. Hey, I wasn't in Grown Ups too. Feel free to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Filmgazm Productions. You can always suggest films for us to check out and give us feedback. You can send us a message there. You can email us at filmgazm@gmail.com. You can always check out the website, filmgazm.com, where we've got reviews, articles, trailers for upcoming movies, all sorts of fun stuff. And if you want to support the show, you can click on support this podcast on your podcast provider. We appreciate any and all donations you want to throw our way. Next week is the long-awaited release of Marvel and Sony's vampire movie Morbius, which is getting horrendous reviews. And apparently Sony can't stop spoiling the damn thing, which is kind of amazing. But I'm going to see it anyway. It's Marvel. There's one Marvel film to date I have not seen. Elektra. Not exactly clamoring to watch that. But
yeah. I was going to say, wait, which one? Yeah. Not really a part of canon. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's Morbius. So I'll see it. Caleb will see it. We'll talk about it. Also, The Bubble comes out on Netflix, so we'll likely tackle that one too. That looks funny. So does Barbarians, but that's a very obscure psychological dramedy that I really want to see, but doesn't look like it's getting a big release. So no Barbarians. Next week or this week, don't miss Dracula on Wednesday's Filmgazm, Star Wars: The Clone Wars on Fridays Beyond the Bad, and Jaws on Oscar Sunday. Have a great week and keep watching movies.